Christmas. It's a Friday. Whether you are working, whether you are relaxing, I hope you are having a festive season. Now, huge news. The CPUC, what does that stand for? California Public Utilities Commission, right? They pretty much govern the entire rideshare, transportation, and food delivery industry here in California. Sadly, this decision was only made in California. This decision should have been made for every single state, and that is they shut down Uber teen rides. There's a big announcement came to all the drivers. The CPUC has shut down Uber teen rides. And this is my opinion. You may differ on this. I believe it is very, very good news. Why? A, safety-wise, these kids, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, shouldn't be in our cars. They're not adults. With Corey in the house, Brandon's in the house, I welcome everyone that's coming into the room right now. Now, you can make your decision, your judgment. If you see unaccompanied children or teenagers that look under 18, very simple. You just have to cancel and select unaccompanied minor. And you shouldn't get dinged, you shouldn't get punished. And that's for California only. And I truly, truly hope that the other states follow suit, because there are services out there like Hop, Skip, and Drive where drivers are vetted to the maximum degree and they get to drive these children for a price. It's a little bit more expensive than Uber or Lyft, but that's really where the kids belong. Kids actually belong in the parents' car. It's the parents that should be driving their children to school, picking them up from school, and not just stuffing them, a 13 or 14-year-old, unaccompanied, or maybe with other teenagers, into a stranger's vehicle. Because the bottom line is there are always sour apples out there. Not every driver is perfect. There are drivers with ill or bad intentions, just like there are many, many riders with bad or ill intentions. So I think it's a good thing that we don't have to drive children, at least in California. Uber and Lyft notoriously have a difficult time following laws. They like to break the laws. They love being sued, and they love settling for 10 cents on the dollar. So they try to ride this wave for as long as possible. But the CPUC finally said, no, we've had enough of your shit. You're bypassing the laws. You're not following the laws. We're shutting down Uber Teen in California. And the good thing is there is a big movement of drivers, rideshare drivers and food delivery drivers, filing complaints with the FTC, filing complaints with the CPUC. It usually has far more clout or far more of an impact if the letter comes from an attorney. So if some person wanted to complain to the CPUC and you hired an attorney and they shot off a legal letter from an attorney or from a paralegal to the CPUC, and it said, hey, listen, I don't think this is safe. I think that Uber and Lyft are breaking the laws. I'm a registered attorney in California, for example. You need to shut that down. They have to act. Just like there are many illegal players, illegal rideshare companies operating without licenses, without the CPUC's approval in California, they need to all be shut down. End of story. It's this free-for-all that creates this crazy environment, this dangerous environment. And where the government, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, need to do a far better job, they need to clamp down on the companies, Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft, and say, listen, you can't have all these illegal people driving under third-party accounts. It's not the face, it's not the name. They're driving under some sort of third-party stranger, and it's really messing up the industry. And we've seen this in the last 2 years. But again, we've seen a lot of that, illegal drivers, whether people coming into the country illegally or trying to get onto DoorDash or Uber and Lyft illegally, but they're taking away the monies from people that are doing it the right way. And Uber and Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, they gladly allow these accounts to continue. It's all illegal. It's not following the Uber and Lyft laws. And thank God the FTC, the CPUC, and these institutions are starting to wake up, impose fines, and come down hard on the companies. Why is this all happening? It's because us, the drivers, are filing more and more complaints. And if you have hundreds and hundreds of complaints of the same nature coming in, they have to do something about it. And especially if you have a complaint coming in and it's maybe written up by a big law firm, they have to act, right? So we have Dave in the house, we have Ed Ramsey in the house, we have Vasilius in the house. Vasilius says, I refuse teenagers. I think that's a good thing that you refuse teenagers, because the beautiful thing is it's your car, right? You can make the decision as an independent contractor and refuse these teenagers, and you're not setting yourself up for future problems. What type of future problems? Well, any teenager could make any wild accusation against you, and I'll guarantee you your account is closed. It can even be worse. Let's say a teenager says, oh, you made sexual remarks, or he touched me. It doesn't have to be true. The problems for you, the driver, will be larger, bigger than you ever imagined. If there are any accusations, I'm saying false accusation. Osh Cruz in the house. High five. Keep grinding, Professor. Thank you, my friend. High five. Great success. Thank you. I'm going to hit the like button right now. Boom. Appreciate it. Very, very cool. I am actually going to use that $5 and I'm going to go over to Starbucks and get myself a cappuccino. I really appreciate it. Or maybe I'll convert that to 1 expensive gallon of California fuel, which is almost $5, right? But greatly appreciated. You just made my Friday. You made my Friday by that kind gesture. So back to Uber Teen. Like I said, there are other services. Parents, I think, also need to step up. Don't just stuff your 13 or 14-year-old in a car with a stranger and expect the best outcome. No, because out of every 1,000 drivers, there are 2-3 drivers with bad intentions. We cannot all be perfect. And it takes those 2 or 3 drivers out of 1,000 drivers to give all the other 997 good drivers a bad name. And so whether a teenager is molested by a bad driver on a trip, all over the media, right? And I'm telling you right now, any type of wrongful deactivation which comes from a fabricated or made up teenage account, you're gone. You're off the platform forever. And it would probably take a good attorney or a good company to get you back on the platform if you have accusations from a teenager against you. So Khoza's in the house. I know the Xosa, that's Khoza. There's the language in South Africa, Khoza. But that's a cool name, Khoza, I like it. So a few other things that I wanted to address. Now, there are many drivers that'll, and I've read the comments, I'll happily take teenagers. Teenagers are easy to drive around. Teenagers are uncomplicated. Teenagers, there's less problems than adults. To a certain degree, you are right. If you know those teenagers, and if you maybe build up a repeat, Paul Figueroa in the house. Why did I make this video? It's because Torsten says steak dinner soon, my friend. Yes, 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 yes. Much love to San Diego. Paul Figueroa throws down $20. Merry Christmas to your beautiful family and to you, my friend. I am excited to meet up with Paul and Thomas in San Diego or LA and have a steak. We have a long history together, and we've gone out for lunches a few times, and we always catch up. We always somehow meet at some big event, Saw Thomas at the SoFi a few weeks ago. Last time I saw Paul was at Guns N' Roses in San Diego. So you keep those good friends close. And I appreciate the screenshot. Paul emailed me and said, hey, by the way, they are ending teen rides. Yeah, I'm all for. Listen, I love teenagers. I have 5 teenagers myself. I have 5 teenagers, 5 kids. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love children and teenagers. I do not like and I do not love the idea of some strange person whose kid, 13, 14, ends up in my car. I don't know their parenting. I don't know their upbringing. And it's like rolling the dice. So, Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas to you all. Ryan himself says, depends on the area. Now, there are people that you get a request and the pickup is at 3 o'clock at a school. Okay, what type of school? Is it an elementary school? Is it a high school? This girl over there loves herself. She's been literally filming herself from every angle, walking back and forth for the last 20 minutes. Very strange. So, if you get a call to a school, a high school, slim chances that the individual is 18 years old. You might be picking up a teacher. That's great. They're legit. But let's say there's a 14, 15-year-old you summons to a school to pick them up, to drive them home because mommy and daddy can't drive that kid from school. Right now, you have the choice, at least in California. You can say, you know what? Sorry, you sent me to a school. The child did not look 18. It was unaccompanied. And I can cancel without any repercussions. I think this is really great news. I fully agree with Michael Simmons. He says this is great news. I would not take them anyway. And you've seen me from day one when they brought out Uber Teen. I've been against this. I've made videos against this. Personally, I've also written letters to the CPUC and the FTC on multiple complaints against Uber and Lyft, including teens. And, you know, as I write the letter, as a driver advocate, being featured in multiple news stations, TV outlets, newspapers, which gives you a small degree of credibility, but at least they'll, you know, I know that they're going to read my letter. I say, listen, I don't think that Uber Teen is the way to go, and these companies are clearly breaking the law. So I think it all really boiled down to fingerprinting. California says, okay, if you want to comply, we'll allow you to drive teenagers, but your drivers have to be fingerprinted. Now, it's truly up to the driver that says, you know what, hell no, I'm not going to be fingerprinted. No, this is like a full-on invasion in my privacy. I'm not doing this. And I think a lot of drivers don't want to be fingerprinted. Those maybe that don't care or have nothing to hide, they'll say, yeah, sure, I'll be fingerprinted. But this is what they require. And obviously, Uber is not playing ball, right? So we have a little bit of a hater here, Locacious Jackson. That's the weirdest name ever. I hate your accent. So as I can see from your statement, you have a lot of hate inside of you. So you maybe want to go and do a little bit of therapy there, Locacious, luscious Locacious, and go and see where that hate stems from. As you can see, I hate your accent. So an individual like that with a small brain, a little pea brain mind, thinks the following way. Oh, he has a different accent than I do, so he must be foreign, or he must be an alien, or he must be an invader. So my little message to Locacious, luscious Locacious, is born in Washington, D.C. You might want to look that up. That happens to be in your country. And a born American who's a little bit better traveled than you, who's lived in several countries and can speak a few languages, and probably has a couple of dollars more in his bank account, luscious Locacious. So, yeah, I got a small brain but got a big package. You wish you had a big package. Like you like the 101 of psychology. You're too easy to read, luscious, loquacious. And the good thing is, the power of the channel that I have, I can take this backhand, give you one slap to the left, one slap to the right, and you're out. That's it. Adios, luscious, loquacious. Have a good one. And he's gone. So that's how we take care of those little trolls. He has a small brain, but a big package. I don't think so. I think it's more like a tiny brain and a tiny little package. So we are here at LAX. We are getting ready to pick up 2 more clients today. I did 2 runs in the morning, which was great. Good money to start the day. Have another 2 tonight. Going to get some personal stuff done during the day, and wanted to share this news with you. Paul Figueroa shared it with me, and then suddenly I open up my email address and then I get a flurry of emails. Oh, CPUC is stopping teen rides. And I'm thinking, yeah, finally, the laws are clamping down on Uber and Lyft. Finally, there are some institutions that are actually doing their job. Finally, the FTC is imposing fines. Finally, the CPUC is actually governing and doing their job properly, right? Justin Lim, you're 100% right. He said, just ignore the dumb. You're right. I should not take the bait. I just, when it comes to accents, I get a little offended because, yeah, I do have a weird accent. I have a South African accent, but I'm just as American, born in Georgetown Hospital, father professor at Georgetown University. I'm as American can be, with the passport to prove it. So I get a little bit offended when people jump to conclusions on accents. And having traveled the world, whether I meet someone at a coffee shop who speaks French, or someone at a car dealership who's Italian who wants to buy an American car, me personally, I treat everyone equally. I don't look at your color. I don't look what country you come from. I don't look at what language you speak, right? I don't care what religion you have. To me, you are a human being. The janitor has the same value as a king or a queen. We're all equal, and there should be no barriers. There should be no barriers between us, right? I think you should be able to approach whoever you wish on the street. So I do get offended when people say, oh, F off to the country you came from, you have a strange accent. Not knowing, and that's what I'm saying, they have a small brain, they have a pea-sized brain. They may have never traveled. May have never even bought a plane ticket or tried to see the outside world. And they are too afraid. It has to do with fear. Oh, he has a different accent. He must be dangerous. It doesn't work that way in the real life. But so here's a cool thing about Uber Teen. If that individual doesn't look 18, which is sometimes difficult, right? Sometimes you look at a teenager, you're going to see 2 that are about to get in your car, and you're like, shit, are they 19? Are they 16? The dress, the makeup, it's hard sometimes to tell, or let's say a 17 from a 19-year-old. Now, if you see someone and you think, okay, you know what? They look 19. They came up to the car. They say, good afternoon, sir. I ordered an Uber. I'm 19 years old. Oh, yeah, you know what? You do act 19-year-old. You do act like a 19-year-old. You look like a 19-year-old. You can get in the car. You can make the decision. However, if you think that someone is just trying to pull a fast one, right, and they came out of school, you showed up at school, and this kid clearly looks like he's 15. Cocky little guy, cocky attitude. And you can say, you know what, buddy, I don't quite believe you're 18. Do you have an ID that shows that you're 18? He says, no, I'm 18. I don't have to show you an ID. I'm sorry, but to me, you look like an unaccompanied minor. I am therefore canceling the trip. please tell your mommy or your daddy that they'll either have to send another driver, or they may have to come and pick you up personally, or they may have to get a friend to drive you back from school, or you might want to carpool with one of the other parents. Good luck. Adios, muchacho. Bye-bye. So, a few things to think of. As you're driving into that situation, you can now, at least in California, make that decision. Sorry, he or she just doesn't look 18. Select unaccompanied minor for the reason for the cancellation. I personally think this was a really good decision by the California Public Utilities Commission. I do think it's going to save lives, and I do think that a lot of drivers will not have to go through this extremely stressful situation of being wrongfully deactivated by a teen or by a teen's parents. When the mom writes in, files a complaint, my teenager said this and this and this. Boom! Driver account deactivated. So that ain't gonna happen so quickly. We got Philip in the house. I thought it said Philip Mayweather. It's Philip Merriweather. Shout out to Georgetown University. Awesome. Fantastic. Edelwolf is in the house. Elon Musk is pretending he's in the house. The South African is pretending he's in the house. I like how people use the pictures and the names of these celebrities or CEOs to garner attention, to garner attraction. Jackson Esquire is a troll, says Paul Figueroa. I already slapped him out. He's gone. But yeah, it would be fun to have the real Elon Musk in the stream. It says the message retracted. So my guess, another troll disguising himself or herself as Elon Musk. Well, if it says message retracted, it usually has to do something with the language or the person's online behavior on YouTube. Otherwise, they wouldn't retract a message. It would be cool to see Elon Musk. I would have a few words for Elon Musk. I really would. So there's another person, another guy that we're going to kick out the channel. Gone. Former. Sneaky, the answer is former. Father was former, passed away, 49. I myself as well. From Witwatersrand University in South Africa, and then also studied in London, also studied in Germany. So that's just a little bit of the background. Business and psychology. Love psychology. That's why when you read these type of comments, it's quite often it's interesting to analyze, interpret them from a psychological 101 point of view. Pretty easy. You know, a lot of statements that are made are projections. Projections. We are basically just projecting our shit onto other people, right? So, fascinating books written about projecting, where people project their problems, their issues on you. But that's a whole different video. That's a whole different story right there. I'll read a few messages and make a quick decision, right? I want to be surrounded by positive people, by like-minded people. You know, it's an equitable exchange of positive energy in the channel. I get on with you, you get on with me, you have constructive input. I'm thankful for the input, I'm thankful for the suggestions. We work together, we grow together, we help each other. And that's just generally the vibe of my channel. If you don't quite fit in there and you want to be like, think you're super cool or fall out of the norm, if you want to, racism not tolerated, hate language not tolerated, I kick those type of people out. They'll never ever come back into my channel again. That's it, just end of story. You know. So Brent Adams, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good day. And Edelwolf says, that's a whole other ball of wax. Indeed it is. So Zezrael says, my account is deactivated. Can you help me? Or can you give me some information where I have to go? Yeah, I can absolutely give you a lot of information where you need to go. My suggestion is go to activationhero.com, select the company, you fill out the form. I'd say the most important factor of a wrongful deactivation is always your side of the story. There could be dash cam, there could be a picture to back up your side of the story, right? You're entitled to your statement. You can always come out and say, no, it did not happen this way. It happened this way. Let me explain. So that's literally what an appeal is. An appeal where you're telling the company, hang on 1 second, take a step back here. You took the rider statement, but here's actually the true statement. In fact, I even have a police report to back up my statement. So evidence is crucial. And a pretty clean track record is also, look, if you have multiple violations, multiple warnings, yeah, there's a very good chance that your deactivation might be valid. But if this is a first-time accusation against you by a teenager, and you've driven hundreds and hundreds of other teenagers, and you enjoy driving teenagers, and suddenly out of the blue you're getting a crazy accusation against you, then it's really easy to fight. It's not difficult to fight. Flora in the house. We've got Bob Moore. Well, Zisrael, you say you feel many times they deny you. They can deny you from airports. That's a form of punishment if you're not accepting enough trips at airports, right? It's like you called an airport deactivation. But if you're actually driving, if you're actually active on the platform, Uber and Lyft, you're either active or you're inactive. Inactive or deactivated means you cannot log in. There's a message, you have been deactivated, and you can't log on. That's it, you're off. But if you say, I feel many times that they deny me, that to me sounds like you are still active and you just don't quite agree with the trips that they're giving you or the way they're treating you. To me, it doesn't sound like you've been deactivated. How's December working out for everyone? Is it busy? Are you busy? Are you driving a lot? Do share. Do share. There's another person who thinks they're Ronaldo, CR7. To kick them out, he won't be in here. Thank you, Derek Purcell. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Peace Frog, I appreciate you. Shout out from Marco, Buffalo, New York. Merry Christmas back to you. Hopefully you, your family, hope everyone has an amazing Christmas with their family, with your loved ones. It's a special time of the year, right? Maybe your tree is decorated, Christmas presents already under the tree, the kids are getting excited. That's a pretty damn cool atmosphere, these last 10 days before Christmas. I love it. I love it. Ryan says, December is great, but I'm not driving on Lyft as much. I'm over on Amazon Flex. Good. I hope that Amazon Flex is treating you well. And by the way, Amazon Flex must be busy off the hook right now, right? With all these packages and Christmas presents that are going out. I mean, shit, if you're a newbie and you're jumping onto Amazon Flex right now, you should be jumping into a sort of a never-ending stream of deliveries for the next 2 weeks at least. So maybe a good time to hop onto Amazon Flex. Good feedback there, by the way. Wheelhouse. Yeah, no, Amazon Flex is not my wheelhouse, that's for sure. But I've supported Amazon Flex drivers with their strikes. I've supported them with many shout outs or with when they're organizing protests and they try to, unionize. I definitely know a lot of Amazon Flex drivers. But you're absolutely right. My channel, occasionally I'll make a video on Amazon drivers. Maybe 2025, you bringing the topic up, maybe I devote more videos to drivers in general. Doesn't matter, Instacart, Amazon Flex, or Spark. We need to talk about the industry, right? How can we change the delivery industry? How can we change the food delivery industry? How can we change the rideshare industry and make it a better place? Because earnings suck. Some pay better, some pay nothing at all. Safety sucks. And the fact that you can get wrongfully deactivated over the dumbest shit reason, that sucks as well. Baran says, when is the UK officially collapsing since you voted for unchecked immigration? I don't know. You're the politician. You're the smarty. You'll be able to answer that, won't you? I don't know why you asked the question. You seem to be the know-all. Kaiser Soze says self-driving cars. Now that topic, I think that topic gets a lot of real drivers who are trying to earn a living pretty aggravated, because I just, one word comes to mind: Waymo. Waymo now is operating in LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona, early next year, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and Miami, Florida. Very expensive cars, $360,000 per vehicle, operated by Google, have all the money in the world, buying their way in. They're obviously not in every city. They're sort of buying their way in. You've got to pay the politicians. You've got to play the game. You've got to play the politics to get your Waymo vehicle into a city, right? And once you're in, what's happening is that the AV, the way I see it, I still think we're 10 years away from the big picture. But these AVs are taking away trips from drivers. That's a fact, In fact, they'd registered 400,000 trips Waymo was almost doing per month. Can we? Kaiser Soze says you can't stop the progress. You are right. You cannot stop that progress. It's turning. It's happening. The question is, how fast will it take over? But I agree with you when you say you cannot stop the progress. Glitches, how many people will die? Well, there's videos every single day of autonomous vehicles glitching. I hope that not too many humans and animals die in the process. But with all the collecting the AI, these vehicles apparently are getting better each and every day. Kaiser Soze says, hey, maybe 10 years time. It sounds pretty accurate to me. Joseph Rodriguez says, any tips on building clientele with doing UberX for the meantime? Look, now, if you are on UberX, let me take an example of a vehicle, a Prius, a Toyota Prius, right? Great mileage, 45, 50 miles. and you're allowed to drive on UberX, their biggest money maker. 80% of the trips are UberX. Now, can I convert that vehicle into a vehicle that drives private clients? Well, we're talking about Toyotas. The car in front of me, that's a white Toyota Sienna, which serves as the perfect XL vehicle. They also allow that vehicle to operate on UberX, but that's an XL vehicle. But there are many, many drivers who have that vehicle registered as a commercial vehicle with commercial insurance, and they are on the Uber and Lyft platform with that Sienna. There's a white one in front of me, and they're also doing private trips. Color of choice, I mean, I wouldn't go quite white. I would make that, buy that car in black. But if you had a black Prius, this is where you are boxing yourself in. Allow me to explain. Can you get a commercial registration for a Prius? Absolutely. You can get it registered as a commercial vehicle. Can you get commercial insurance for a Toyota Prius? Absolutely. So can I drive private clients with my Prius? Absolutely. Here are the negatives. Can only fit 4 people in the car, a little bit of luggage, and the people that are driving on UberX or ordering Priuses, they are accustomed, they are conditioned to pay fairly low fares. So if you jump on, and here's the test, if you create an Uber Ride or a Lyft Rider app, and you look at UberX rates, and you look at Uber XL rates, and you look at comfort rates, and you look at SUV or black rates, if you compare an Uber Black where you could easily be picked up by a Cadillac, a black Cadillac, to pay premium dollars, like that one just rolling in right there, right? That's 600 there. That's a Cadillac right there. And then you look at how much is that very same trip A to B, same mileage, same duration with an UberX, a fraction. So UberX is a fraction of that Uber Black vehicle on the platform. If you're ordering as a rider, the same works with private clients. If you are accustomed to paying UberX prices, it's really hard to demand top dollars. You know, where you could, for example, do a 1-hour trip for $200. You can't demand $200 to drive a client privately in a Prius, when that same trip is about $60 on. So you have to adjust your pricing. And are you really making the money? Not really. You'll be dibbling and dabbling on UberX, Lyft Regular, and doing some private clients with your Prius. The only thing that you really have going for yourself is if you have a high volume of clients, and you have a car that lasts 300,000-400,000 miles, and you're getting excellent gas mileage. Those are the pluses, but you're not making the real money. Hope that answers your question. If you're going to get the commercial insurance for $800 a month, you might as well look into non-emergency medical transport as well. That is correct. Mark Connor, would you recommend Ford Expedition or Chevy Tahoe for private rides? Look, price-wise, my guess is you can get a Ford Expedition for a better price than a Chevy Tahoe, right? Same type of vehicle, probably same type of seating configuration, what it would, and really the same type of car. Personally, I'd probably want to take the Tahoe over the Expedition. That's just my personal opinion, but both equally as great for private rides. This is what it boils down to. What can I buy that Ford Expedition for if I'm going to a dealership and buying it as a commercial vehicle? You're not going to buy that car as a regular vehicle. You want it registered commercially by the dealership. Or what will the dealership charge me for the Tahoe, for the Chevy Tahoe? Or even better, if I go to an auction, whether it's a public auction or whether it's a dealer auction, what can I get that Ford Expedition for cash? And what can I get that Chevy Tahoe for cash? And that's where I would start comparing. I would compare dollar to dollar. Gas mileage, probably pretty much the same unless they have flex fuel. Coloration, probably black on black. Obviously the sort of the Rolls Royce of the SUVs is right there. The new Cadillac or the Suburban. But Expedition and Tahoe, great cars. Great cars. This gentleman right here is very, very busy. He's always very, very busy. Private driver, I see him a lot. Very nice guy. He drives that Cadillac. He's busy. I know he's making money. Buy a bus. Buses ain't cheap. Doesn't matter, says public auction, Chevy Tahoe, private SEC. Navigator, you might like a Navigator. Me personally, I'm a Cadillac guy. I think the ones that are the easiest to manage, less problems to me, the best car out there for this type of business, Suburban diesel. Suburban diesel. That's my number one recommendation. And that gets great mileage. I believe 28 to 30 miles per gallon. That's pretty damn high. Matrix Mega in the house. So there you have a nice car. That's a money maker. It's shiny, it's clean. It's the new model. That car is going to be replaced in 2025 by the EV, the electric vehicle, the Cadillac. I think it's called IQ. Very, very expensive entry point. I think $130,000 or $135,000. But a car like that, you wait a year, or let all the little kinks and all the little problems iron themselves out, and you go and pick up a car like that in the year 2. So that Cadillac EV, I would buy in 2026. I wouldn't buy that. It's the same with the Cybertruck. You give it a year, let all the little problems and headaches and issues be sorted out. The 2025 Cybertruck model should be way better than the 2024 launch model. Kaiser Sozi says definitely is too expensive for diesel. You mean the actual Suburban diesel is too expensive? No, it's worth every dollar. It's worth every dollar. It'll last forever, super reliable. And you look at the MPG of a Suburban diesel and you compare that to the 600 Cadillac, day and night. Diesel exhaust fluid is DEF. Oh, sorry, yeah, got it. Diesel exhaust fuel. Not that much more expensive. I thought I read DEF, like I thought you just said definitely. DEF maybe is abbreviating definitely. Yeah. It's a bit more expensive. You're right. If you're in Europe, it's not. It's pretty much the same price. A lot of vehicles on European roads are diesels. Diesel engines are solid, robust. Some of the best taxis in the world are the old Mercedes diesel. They can easily do 1 million miles, the old ones. 70s, 80s, 90s Mercedes taxis can do 1 million miles. Gas vehicle will never ever achieve that level. And you run side by side a diesel Suburban and a Cadillac gasoline. That diesel will keep on running and running and running while you send the Cadillac to the graveyard. Mark says, are you familiar with the Atlanta rideshare market? A bit. I mean, I communicate with a lot of people. I'm also in their Facebook groups. I mean, it's, what you've got going in Atlanta, what you've got going for yourself is the airport, and it's pretty reasonable, the cost of living. It's a busy city. I would argue, Atlanta is probably better than Miami, but and by the way, Atlanta is the perfect hub, the perfect city to build out private clients, because you'll have a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of Floridians, you'll have a lot of Californians visit Atlanta for business, and there are thousands and thousands of opportunities every single day to get someone into an SUV, into a black vehicle. So Atlanta is a hot spot for fleets, big time. Edelwolf says, it took 3 months for LYFT to answer my appeal letter. The way you speed that up is through a proper legal appeal, 21 days. You reactivate me or you don't. If not, small claims after the 3rd week. So you shouldn't be waiting around for 3 months for an answer to your appeal letter. Now, because you appeal to the review team, they'll sit on it for 4 months, 5 months, 3 months. Has to be handled from a company, maybe with paralegals or attorneys, to their legal department. That's what we do at activationhero.com. So if you want fast, effective service, that's it. Boom. Get the right appeal letter out, the right wording, the right chronological set of events. 21 days, reactivate me, yes, no, no. Okay, then we'll see you in court. But to sit around for the review team, and by the way, the review team or Uber's specialized team never ever makes the final decisions. The attorneys, Uber's attorneys, they have an army of attorneys at LYFT, an army of attorneys and paralegals at Uber. They make the final decision, not some review team, specialized team, or customer service team. Nada. I like that. That's a good attitude, Mark. Mark says, I don't have an SUV as yet. I like it. It's the future thinking. I will have one in the near future. That's sort of what I read there. I'm going to have an SUV. I don't have one yet, but I will have one soon. But here's the positive. But I have already saved over 10 private numbers for future opportunities. See, future opportunities. That's future money. I have 10 numbers. I don't have the car yet. I will get the car probably in 2025. And then I will call upon those 10 clients and say, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to serve you. I'm ready to make money. You don't say to them, I'm ready to make money. You say to yourself, I'm ready to make money. I now have my SUV and I have 10 other clients. And by the way, this is how it works in the real world, Mark Connor. Those 10 numbers that you already have saved on your phone, those 10 names, once you pick them up in your SUV, once they see Mark's quality of service, once they see how safe Mark drives, once they see Mark's professional qualities, guess what? Those 10 people each tell 3 new people. So suddenly now it's not just 10 people, but you have 30 referrals. And within 6 to 12 months, you're already on 40 people. And then those new people bring you new people. So you grow it, you grow it, you grow it. So Mark Connor, your future looks bright, my friend. Wolf says, yes, I will not do another rideshare drive until I have a dash cam installed and recording. I would think that's a good, smart decision. The best dash cams, I think, personally, Vantrue. I used to get a lot of sponsored ones. I gave away a lot. I sold a lot for 50% less than they cost. But a real good dash cam is usually the N4 Pro. It's not just forward recording, but it's pretty much almost like 360 recording. It's recording. It has multiple cameras, and it's recording everything that's around you in the cockpit and on the sides and in the front. So if you get into an accident, or if something happens, God forbid, someone in the back attacks you, it's all recorded. And dash cams are great deterrents. You get a sticker. The lady that I just spoke to, Carly, she's a private driver. She's awesome. She might be listening to this right now. We had a 30-minute talk, private driver to private driver. She's phenomenal. There are two ladies that hang out here. They're creme de la creme, the best of the best. They were both sitting and chatting next, and I got into the conversation with them. It's like, we were talking about dash cams. We're talking about all the things that can keep you safe. And she said, look here, I have these stickers. You're getting in the car, you're now being recorded. Whether it's audio or visual recording, or you have stickers, no smoking, no eating. These deterrents, these stickers, they set the boundaries. They're just boundaries. You can do this in my car, you can't do this and this in my car. You get into my car, you're going to be recorded. You get into my car, you can't vape, you can't smoke, you can eat. You got to set the boundaries. It's your car, it's your office. Can't just come in there and do whatever you want. Just the other day, I stopped a famous drummer, not my good friend that passed away, Taylor Hawkins, but another famous drummer, no names mentioned, but I said, sorry, you ain't vaping in my car. You can stop, you can vape on the side of the road, we can do 2 or 3 stops, you can light up your vape, but you're not vaping in my car. Boundaries. Mark Connor, I'm going to say this again. I can feel the energy here. 2025 is going to be good for you, right? You have the right wording, the right attitude, the right mindset, and you have vision, and you're working towards your goals. There's really nothing that can stop you, Mark Connor, honestly. From my lips to God's ears. True. So, and check in, share the progress. Right, Mark, check in with me next year, share the progress. Mark, you have my number, my email are under each and every one of my videos. As a Christmas present, allow me to give you my private chauffeur course. I don't know if you already have it at Gig Rocket, but allow me to set up a code for you. Just email me. And obviously in that email, you pretty much would have to identify yourself as Mark Connor, or text me. My number is below, it's 480. But I truly think that if you just get those additional 300 minutes of information, you watch it, you can always say, hey, I know this and this. Oh, he just taught me something new here. Or I just learned something new here, right? We're like sponges. Every day, I approach with an open mind. I am not Mr. Know-It-All. No, just because the word professor is attached doesn't mean I don't know it all. I do not know it all. I'm the first to admit I don't know it all. But I go into every single day from the moment I open my eyes and I'm conscious, I'm learning. What can I learn today? At the end of the day, before I lie down, do a little bit of a how was my day? What did I learn today? Who did I meet today? What did I create today? What can I set up for the future that from what I learned today? Right? How did I enrich my life? How did I help someone else? That's like, these are the cool things as you're driving around, right? There's 3 people in your car. There's me, myself, and I. I'm communicating with myself. I'm running the ideas through my brain. I'm saying, okay, what happened today? What transpired today? Okay, I learned this. Who did I learn that from? Oh yeah, Mr. A, Mr. B taught me. So you process that information. Always keep the brain busy. Whether it's little multiplications in your brain, whether it's working out statistics, whether it's memorizing phone numbers, whether it's memorizing number plates, always keep that brain active. Very important. Lonnie's in the house. Welcome, Lonnie Hopkins. Hamid says, how can I sue Instacart for deactivating me? Do you know any lawyers that can help? Okay, so I'm going to tell you straight up, Hamid, no lawyer is going to touch you unless you're putting down, this is just how lawyers work, $2,500 maybe to a $5,000 retainer. Plus, here's the next big problem for the attorney, for the lawyer, and that is these companies will tell your lawyer, no, you got to go, you can't file in superior court, you got to go through arbitration, which is true, you have to go through arbitration. But if you want to save yourself the money, Hamid, you start with a legal appeal. Like you go to activationhero.com, you start the legal appeal. Now you have it on the record for the judge. You give them 21 days. This is the issue that I have with you, Instacart, whatever the issue is. Here's my statement. You don't fix that, or you don't compensate me, I'm going to small claims court. Now, if you're in California, you can file $12,000. In fact, you can bring two $12,000 suits per year in California. So you could legally, if you wanted to, go after them for $24,000. But you got to be a good negotiator. You got to let them know where you're coming from. You got to let them know, I'm not taking your shit, Instacart. So Raj says, are you German or are you one of those Homo sapiens? Raji, my boy. Do all the people where you from talk like the fish from American Dad? Yeah, I mean, Raji, where do you come from? I'm not mocking your accent, Raji. So you should zip it. Because the one thing you don't want to, like, you see, here's the funny thing, and we're gonna dismiss Raji. He's gonna get the dismiss. The dismissal is basically you get slapped out of my room, right? That's how it works, Raji. So I'm gonna tell you how it works in the real world. You had your 30 seconds of glory. You got to feel powerful, which you think you're powerful, but now I cut your tongue off. I take your voice away. See, the moment I cut your tongue off, you're gone. Dodie says, I'm an Uber driver in the London, UK. Welcome, all my British friends. Awesome. Respect for the job you do. I'm trying always to pick just the best job, but it's not easy. All trips those days seems to be underpaid. Now, Dodie, I talk to British drivers every single day through my channel, emails, text messages, WhatsApp. And you're facing the same problem as we are here in the United States, right? Underpaid, not really making money with the car we drive on the platform we drive. So the same really applies in London. London, metropolitan city, one of the biggest cities in the world, insane tourism. This is the city where you need to do the research and say, okay, what does it take for me to become a private driver in London? Because you can be on the Uber platform. There's no LYFT in London, right? There's only LYFT in United States and Canada. But you should be on the platform in Uber, and you should be starting to recruit Uber riders into your own private clientele. All you are missing right now, probably have the car, you're probably missing the licensing that you need as a UK driver to operate as a company, as an individual who is driving private clients in London, in Sussex, in Kent, in surroundings to make the real money. Dustin Spivey says, are you English, sir? I'm not British. No, I speak English, but I'm not British English, or I'm not English. I'm born in Washington, D.C., Georgetown Hospital. So, born U.S., accent South African. SESA, Torsten, glad to see you, respect you so much, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for sharing the videos every single day. Lots of love back to you and your family, SESA. Shout out to SESA, SESA. Everybody chime in, SESA. Much love, really appreciate you. God bless you back, my friend. Dodie, be safe out there in the UK. I'm going to be in the UK for a wedding in June. Maybe I see you. I'm going to be in London In fact, I'm going to be at Warwick Castle for a big wedding. So hopefully I can meet some UK drivers out there. So if you've started the process on Activation Hero and you're a month in, which is about now, because to draw up the appeal is about 3-4 days. You sign it. You've obviously gone through the process. And I want you to do completions here. So let me explain. So you the paperwork, the legal appeal, you have signed electronically. It then takes about 3 to 5 days to get to the paralegals and the attorneys, right, at Instacart. So you're talking about 3 days plus 4 days, 7 days, they have you appeal. Then they have 21 business days to act. So give or take 35 days later, if they are not playing ball, if they are not cooperating with you, Instacart, right? Pretty notorious, Instacart. They shut up. They do not want to engage with the driver. Unlike Uber and Lyft, they've actually very good communication. Once they get the appeal, Instacart prefers to be quiet. So you now have given them notice, and in that letter it says that if they don't act, you have to file the small claim. So your very next step, Hamid, is to file the small claims in your state. I don't know what state you're in. Maybe you could share with us. You're in the East Coast. Are you in New York? Are you in New Jersey? Where are you? Right? New York, you can usually file a $10,000 claim. Nothing wrong in filing the maximum claim against Instacart because you're losing money. So now is the time to file the small claims. And you have sent the letter, you've given them the opportunity to communicate, you've given them the opportunity to settle with you, but they chose silence. And those are all things that count in your favor with the judge. So and that's literally the final step. So you got to just follow through. But I would really, depending on you're in Maryland? Okay, so here's your exercise right now. Go to google.com, maximum small claims amount, Maryland. Put it in there. Maximum small claims amount, Maryland. Let's say it's $8,000. Let's say it's $10,000. Then the second Google search you are going to do is small claims court forms, FORMS, small claims court forms, Maryland. Go to the link, print it out, very basic. You the plaintiff, they are the defendant. You send them a copy to the legal department, you've been served, and you get another individual to drop off the paperwork at the hub, or you hire a service for $50 and you serve them in San Francisco. Now you're going after your $10,000 or your $8,000 or your $5,000. KB, Gordon Ramsay, is that you? Right over here, my friend. No, I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I think he's funny. I think he's brilliant at what he does. I think he's witty. I think he's sharp. He's cocky. He's making money. He has restaurants. He has a show. Something must be working for Gordon Ramsay, right? But thank you for comparing me to Gordon Ramsay. No, that's not me. The main topic of my live feed, CPUC, which stands for California Public Utilities Commission, put an end, canceled Uber teen trips. That's a good thing, right? So now what it means is that anyone that doesn't look 18, you can select unaccompanied minor, cancel. Don't have to take them. You don't have to take them. Why did the CPUC do this? Sadly, it's only California. I wish that Florida, I wish that Texas, I wish that all the states would do the same. But at least action has been taken in California against Uber. No more Uber teen trips. Why? They don't want to comply with the laws, Uber. They think they're above the law, and they got shut down. So it's important that authorities, whether it's the FTC, whether it's the CPUC, that they actually act, that they actually give fines and impose the laws. So that's what happened here. They got shut down. K Deep says, I drive Uber X in New York City. What should I do to level up? I think that's probably one of the best questions. I think that's one of the best questions of 2025. I really do. What should I do to level up? I want everyone, we have 31 people in the room right now. I want everyone to listen to this individual. His name's K Deep. What should I do to level up? You don't go out and say, what should I do to level down, right? How do I diminish my value? How do I go down? No, the key phrase is here, how do I go up? How do I go up the ladder? How do I climb? How do I enrich myself with knowledge and money? How do I become a better success in life? A better contributor, a better person, a better earner? So you've quickly realized the money ain't there with UberX. If you can, I don't know how many years you still have to finance that UberX, but let's say that car is paid off, or let's say you have one more year to pay off. You owe $4,000, for example, and you have a Toyota Prius. If you want to level up, you go back to Toyota and say, hey, can I trade in this Prius? I only have 1 year of payments left, right? Has X amount of value, less maybe the $4,000 that I owe. What trade-in value are you going to give me? I want to level up to a Toyota Sienna. Toyota Sienna, a minivan, 8-seater, hybrid, it's going to get you 35 miles per gallon. It's going to get you plus 7 people in your car plus luggage, which means it opens you up to the small trips and the big trips. You are leveling up in the earnings, in the categories. You're going one platform higher. But more importantly, you are now using the most inexpensive entry vehicle, leveling up to a Sienna, to get into the private sphere, private trips. Because you have a good look at a black Sienna with dark interior. It's class. It almost looks like a sports SUV. Now you're driving on Uber XL, Lyft XL, and you're doing private trips. That is leveling up, and that is the right language for 2025. Mike Nunziata says slave pay. You are right. That slave pay, unfortunately, goes hand in hand with UberX. There's not much money to be made unless you really know the ins and outs, and you may be in a little college town doing a lot of little trips, quick trips that are adding up to something. You're doing 25, 30 trips and it's adding up to something, right? But there's not much money left in UberX. There's definitely not any money taking a 2 or 3 or 4 hour trip on UberX. No. Dead miles, pathetic earnings, bullshit pay. Not worth it. To me, it's not worth it. Oh, thank you very much. Hassan. Next is Trip Radar, feature as it's dangerous and cause many accidents. Trip Radar is the bottom of the barrel trash auction house for Uber. Trip Radar. It is the auction house for the shittiest offer, and the most desperate people take Trip Radar offers. That's the way I see it. I say it as it is. And it's very, very dangerous. By the way, you see this here? This is a Cadillac. Look what it says on the number plate. VIP car. There it is. VIP car, right? That's what you want to be driving. That guy is making money. UberX driver? Nah, not making money. So back to Trip Radar. Very dangerous, because you are forced to make a decision in a very short time span. Even while you're driving, they're presenting you with this bullshit offer. Right? And you got to like, I got to do my quick calculation. It is distracting. It takes the eyes off the road. It is taking your brain off the road. You should be fully focused on your lane, on the cars in front of you. But now suddenly Trip Radar arrives. You say like, can I make money here? Probably not. Probably not. Right. So there we go. You see the guy there with his phone. That's him. He has the registration VIP car. I don't know how you got that, dude, but that's an awesome number plate. That is an awesome number plate. VIP car. That's a pretty damn sweet number plate. That's a pretty sweet number plate. That's where you want to be. And there's the Cadillac badge right above it. Black. So you pay more for that black license plate in California. Expires February 2025, so it's about 2 more months. And then you have to renew that, probably to drive on California roads, that vehicle, you're probably looking at about $700-800 just to pay the DMV. And that license plate over there, that cost you another almost $200. But what this person is saying, I'm driving a specific caliber car with a specific number plate. I'm ready for you, Mr. VIP, because I have the car that'll transport you. So I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Gordon Ramsay is 144p. What, 144 pounds? I did not know his weight. Where is the lamb sauce? 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 VIP. Yeah, so it's time to move away from slave pay. Sadly, all these illegal accounts, all these illegal Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats accounts is what is bringing our pay down. Why? Because these idiots, these pigeons will drive for any amount. They'll take any trip for any amount, even if it's trip radar. No questions asked, they'll take, and they bring the entire standard of pay down. So these third-party illegal accounts that you can buy, that you can rent, they are not helping the people. What will help you is this number plate and doing private trips. So again, please share the video. K-Deep says, I want a middleman trips. How do I go about finding customers? You need to explain that a little bit more. Do you want to be a broker? Do you want to sell those leads? Well, there are apps. There are apps out there that facilitate exactly what you want to do. You can buy those apps. It all boils down to your name and your marketing. I'm going to repeat myself. It'll all boil down to your name and how you conduct your marketing. But you can make a lot of money as a middleman, as a broker. A lot of money. You just really have to be an expert of the field in social media marketing, because you gotta reach those drivers and you gotta reach those riders. I'm gonna wish you all a fantastic weekend. It's Friday. It's 2:30 p.m. Thank you, Paul, for the great donation. Thank you for the $5 donation. Anybody that wants to leave a last-minute donation, you're welcome. I'll be using it for gas or for coffee. I'm going to be heading home right now. Relax for a few hours. I invested in a cat. It's the biggest cat species. It's called a Maine Coon. It's black. It looks like a panther. They get 35 pounds. It is huge. It's literally as big as a frickin' black panther. It's bigger than a damn bobcat. So it's a beautiful animal, special breeder. The cat was flown in from overseas, and right now it's the love of our casa. Everyone in our house, 5 kids, wife, everyone loves the new cat that I brought in. And it was an expensive cat. Invested, yeah. I invested into a cat. You know why? Because I now have the male and I'll buy the female. And if my kids want to take care of them, and you can sell those kittens for $4,000 per kitten. Do quick math. 6 kittens, $24,000. That's half the pay. That's 1/3 of the amount of that car as a down payment. Business. Oh. Oh, somebody said, he's creating a business. So, whatever you want to do in life, my friends, do your research. Do your research. Going out, do your homework. Find out anything and everything about that business. For example, I like to use the example here. Be your own private investigator, right? Investigate. All the pros, all the cons about that business. And then you make a decision. Can I do it? Do I have the ambition to do it? Do I have the money or the startup capital to do it? And am I committed? Am I willing to climb that ladder? Ask yourself that for 2025. I'm going to leave you on that note. Bitcoin, no, I stay away from Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, for me, it's a waste of time. But some people might love Bitcoin. Good luck. I wish you a great weekend, everyone. We will have another live feed before Christmas. I wish you happy holidays, safe travels. If you have kids, they're probably finishing up with school now. The holidays will begin. And just be safe out there, please. Be safe. And the good thing is, at least the CPUC shut down Uber Teen in California. Thank you, CPUC. I hope all the other states follow. God bless you all. To me, you are all VIPs. To me, all the people in this channel are VIPs, very important people. Please be safe. Take care of yourself, right? Take care of you. You're the number one. You need to take care of you. God bless you all. Thank you.